Hey fellow babies, welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. We are hopeful you're watching this real time as a Patreon patron. If you are, thank you very much. Another way to do this is to be a YouTube subscriber, and again, thank you very much if you're doing that. You'll also get it fast if you are linked with your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. That costs nothing. It's really easy to do. The instructions on how to do it are right below my face. So if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can stick it to Amazon. They will actually pay Shane if you link your account. Stick it to them. It's free.
This episode of Pachter Factor is brought to you by DeShazer Ryan Realty. Right now, Doug DeShazer has beautiful lots available adjacent to Koocanusa Lake in northwest Montana. Pull up your RV and access the hookups, or build your own construction. Either way, you have access to world-class fishing, hunting, boating, swimming, biking, hiking, and the internet. No matter where you're looking to buy, make Doug DeShazer your real estate consultant at 406-291-1643. That's Doug DeShazer at 406-291-1643.
From SIFTD, today's question comes from Backbee. The games industry is generating more revenue than ever, and yet there are tons of layoffs, and we're told the market is in need of correction. Some journalists have been throwing around the idea that another industry crash could be coming. Do you agree? What would it take for a crash to happen like back in '83? Is the industry in any real danger? Are too few companies generating profits? Or is there something else going on? Wow. So the industry was down like 2% last year, and I think the forecast is it'll be down 4% this year. The reason that the industry is declining is that we're being offered too many alternatives, and by that I mean video streaming services are competing for customer dollars. Free-to-play games are proliferating at the expense of paid console games. And while I believe that the number of hours of engagement for the industry is going up each year, I think there's a shift from playing a 30-hour, $70 game, and spending $2, call it, per hour of engagement, to playing 40 hours in a free-to-play game and paying 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents per hour for playing it. So I think that the revenue declines because our habits are shifting to free-to-play, and we're spending less money per hour of engagement. Now, why are we spending less money per hour of engagement? Because we can. Why is video streaming so popular? Because you can sign up for Netflix and watch 40 hours a month of stuff that's no repeat, no rerun. You're getting all new content for $15. What a deal. Netflix is, call it 50 cents an hour. What a great deal. That's cheaper than playing video games for $2 an hour. That's just fact. Do you think any consumer actually does that math in their head? No. But we all know, right? We all know that we fill our time. And I used to laugh because he was so spot on. But Reed Hastings, who was the CEO at Netflix, they would talk about, do you fear people, watching other services or watching movies and TV? And he goes, we compete with two things: video games and sleep. And I think that was right. And how many of you, I realize I can't see you raise your hand, but how many of you on the other side of this screen have actually lost sleep playing video games? Answer all of us. And that's the truth. You sacrifice sleep, because I remember this. This really gospel really happened to me. I was playing Civilization in the 90s, and I don't remember what it was, Civ 1 or Civ 2 or Civ 3, but I was playing Civilization in the 90s, and I remember getting the game at about noon or 1 on a Friday, and I remember the sun coming up on Saturday. I literally played the game like 18 straight hours, and I was just like, I had no idea I stayed up all night. I never, ever looked at a clock or my watch or anything. It was PC. I just kept playing, because once I got into it, and that game, probably even today, would still be addictive. But you can't, you don't sleep when you play video games. And so I think if your time is being consumed because you get hooked on a TV series, on Netflix and you spend 8 hours binge watching one series, you didn't play games that day. So I actually think that's the biggest driver. Second biggest driver, I think, is that the game companies are giving us other models that are more compelling to the consumer, Game Pass among them. And while it may not sound like a big number, 25 million Game Pass subscribers are just necessarily buying fewer games than they were before they were Game Pass subscribers. So 34 million now. That is going to cut into revenue for the studios or for the publishers. So the answer is no, they're not generating more revenue than ever. And the problem with the game companies and layoffs is that they all think they're going to gain share because they're going to make 3 extra games and their share is going to go up by 20%, and it doesn't. And the perfect example of this is take a look if you aren't really bored, if you're bored enough, I'm sorry. At Ubisoft revenue for the last 7 or 8 years, it's been literally between 1.5 billion and 2.5 billion euros, and it's just kind of like that. It's 2 billion every year. They don't grow. Why not? They can't manage to grow their free-to-play business significantly yet, and they haven't generated more titles in any given year. It's kind of the same 3 big games and the same 4 or 5 or 7 smaller games, and their free-to-play revenue hasn't grown. It's tough. It's really hard. In the meantime, when I started doing this 25 years ago, I covered 11 domestic public video game publishers. And now I want to say there's 2. Electronic Arts and Take-Two. Am I missing anybody? Yeah, I'm not. So it used, but I mean, I can name them. The 3DO doesn't exist anymore, and Acclaim doesn't exist anymore. BAM Entertainment doesn't exist anymore. Remember those guys? THQ, Midway, Activision got acquired. That's 6. I know I'll come up with more. Oh, Atari, and then God, there's 2 more. I don't remember. It come to me, but yeah, they just went away, and they kept getting acquired and consolidated. And so what happened? The industry was growing. The big guys got bigger that were left, but truth is that it's a tough business, and that's why so many companies have gone bankrupt or been acquired. And you're down now to EA and Take-Two, and so yes, I cover Ubisoft and Nintendo and some free-to-play like Playtikas of the world, but I covered SciPlay. They got acquired. The answer is that no, there's no crash coming. The industry is a difficult one to define because I think that the gaming press thinks of it as console and PC, and it's not. It's console, PC, and free-to-play. And the free-to-play business, which is different from the console and PC business, is thriving. So I think that what we're really finding is it's like, the analogy is like movies in a theater when that was the only way to watch filmed entertainment, and then we got free television, and then we got streaming. You've expanded the market with each of those steps, but the content changes, and the content's consumed differently. Did it make theaters go away? Not yet, but they're smaller. The number of theaters is fewer. The box office for movies is, on an adjusted basis, on a dollar adjusted basis, is much, much lower. So that's just what happens. You expand the market by offering consumers the opportunity to, engage with games with different business models. They're going to pick the cheapest way to do it and the most fun, and that's free to play. So the answer is no crash. It's been a long, slow crash. Industry's not in any danger, but are console games going away? No, they're going to shrink. It's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and Game Pass is going to get bigger and bigger. Are too few companies generating profits? Yes. But the concentration is bad because that means they focus more on big properties. That's what happened with the movie industry. We don't have romantic comedies anymore. There's 1 or 2 a year. It used to be half of the movie slate was romantic comedies. They just don't make enough money to justify spending 30, 40, 50 million bucks making them. So you're going to get a different type of content. You're going to get more blockbuster brands, fewer niche fun titles, And you're going to get the niche fun stuff free to play. You are paying for your Amazon Prime subscription, so link it to your Twitch Prime subscription. Stick it to Amazon. If you just follow the steps below and link, they pay Shane. It costs you nothing. You don't get a bill. It's all part of your subscription. Take advantage of that, or you are a dope. So you're either lazy or stupid. Which would you prefer to be? Lazy or stupid? Okay? Don't be lazy. Don't be stupid. Link your Twitch Prime account to your Amazon Prime account, please, so Shane can afford to keep paying for gas and coming out here and seeing me and talking to my wife and petting my dog and being a good dude. Okay, that was it for today's Pachter Factor. We will see you next time.